Hey guys, welcome back to Ball in the Boot. This is our last non-select bracket breakdown here, as we got only two more games to talk about in non-select, and that is the semifinal matchups here in Division Four. Joined with Grant Sastray of Crescent City Sports and River Sports Media, as well as Alex Allison and Daryl Felker too. So guys, let's go and talk about our Division Four semifinal matchups. Haynesville, the number one seed, actually had one of their closest games all year long against Welsh. They won the football game, but Haynesville looking like they're not Superman. There's a little bit of a kryptonite to this team. They're not perfect, but they were able to get the win, 30-15. They advance to the semifinals. They'll take on General Travis, who won a thrilling 36-34 game against Generette. General Travis has made some semifinal runs before, and they have made a great run under Coach Toriano Wells. So can Cinderella do it again against Haynesville? We'll find out. But you look at the bomb side of the bracket, Logansport able to get it done, taking care of business against Franklin, 35-6. And South Plaquemine, how about the statement they made? I say, hey, South Plaquemine, your chance to get some respect. They got their respect, and they earned it. 42-18 win over Mangum, which was a trendy pick. I actually had them going to the Superdome, and South Plaquemine trounced the Dragons there. So those are your semifinal matchups. Logansport will take on South Plaquemine. The drive is going to make a difference here. Home field will make a difference here. The game will be played at South Plaquemine since they're the number 2 seed. And the top side of the bracket, Haynesville will take on number 12, General Trask. So before we go into the brackets, Grant, give me your initial thoughts on these two semifinal matchups.
Well, for starters, Haynesville was the favorite going in. Haynesville has a lot of players coming back from last year because last year's Haynesville team was a fairly young team, and they were able to make it all the way to the state championship for the first time since I believe it was 2014. So it's a little over like 8-9 years since the last time that the Golden Tours were able to make it to the Dome. So it's not this shocked me one bit that Haynesville is the number one seed this year, and they're the large favorites to return the Dome. Not only return to the Dome, win the whole damn thing. They will have a tough matchup against General Trask. General Trask can score a lot of points. If you look at their last three games, 64, 38, and 36, and famously they lost the game 84-82 in overtimes. I don't know, triple overtime? Was it 2 overtime, 3 overtimes?
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like I think 4. I think.
yeah, something crazy like that. So they can score points, right? So it'll be interesting to see if Hayesville's defense can step up once again. Because a fairly, pretty good offense. So one that scored 82 points. So pretty good might be an understatement. But Hayesville did have a tough match against Welsh, who's a pretty solid program themselves. So it'll be very interesting to see how they react to what happened last week and fix some of the problems they have going into this week. It gets General Trask is a better offense than Welsh. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack General Trask's offense and also maybe fix some of their mistakes they had last week, even though they won by double digits.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's go in now and let's pick these games. I'm gonna start off with Alex here first. Give me your thoughts here. Haynesville, the number 1 seed, the favorites to win this bracket, even dating back to when it was announced Oak Grove would make the jump from Division 4 to Division 3, because this was the team in the Dome last year that lost to Oak Grove, and all those guys were young. So you expected them to come back, and they have as the number 1 seed. Can it get back to the Dome? Or General Trask, who's been the Cinderella so far in this bracket, can they overcome that hump and go to the Dome and pull off one of the biggest upsets in this playoff bracket for any playoff brackets this year?
No, they will not pull off one of the biggest upsets in any playoff bracket this year. I find it funny, and you're right that we talk about the Haynesville's game against Welsh, a win, as being a struggle win, and it is objectively correct that the game was closer than almost any other game they played all season. But they also still won by 15.
Yeah.
It wasn't, they didn't barely get by Welsh. They just comfortably won instead of blowing a team out like they do every week, it seems. And Welsh is a reasonable team coming off a bye. Obviously, made use of that bye pretty well to make the game competitive. Haynesville might score on every possession against General Trask. Um, they, they very well might. General Trask will get points, something Haynesville's not used to doing, giving up points. They'll score some points, but I still think Haynesville will win pretty comfortably. But I mean, if you wanted to make the argument, it's like, well, if General Trask's offense just has, an unbelievable game, we watched Cecilia do this to Letcher, right? Where if you just compete at a different level, maybe you can put up points and then it becomes a high variance game. You get one stop, who knows? But I think Haynesville's going to win. I think they're going to win comfortably. It'll be a bit higher scoring than the Welsh game, but I think they'll win comfortably.
What about you, Daryl? You have any chance of an upset here, or Haynesville rolling on?
I'm gonna roll with Haynesville as well. As Alex said, he kind of shed a different perspective on it, but their 30-15 win, it wasn't as big as some of their other wins this season. So some people may look at it as a bit of a struggle win. And I mean, it does kind of set the table up nicely for General Trask to walk in and maybe upset them. They're coming off of 2 wins on the road against the 5 seed and the 4 seed. The first one was a blowout. The second one, they fought to the end, found a way to pull it out. And I mean, they're rolling right now. I mean, as we said, they have a really good offense. I think that's what it's going to take to beat this Haynesville team. But it's hard to go against Haynesville. They're the number 1 seed for a reason, and I'm going to roll with Haynesville to go to the Dome.
You agree with that, Grant?
It was Haynesville and well, I had Haynesville going to win the state championship. So there's your answer. But General Trask says, oh, I mean, they've look the last 2 rounds they've been the 5th seed and the 4th seed, right? They've had a Cinderella run, and their offense, like I said, scored a lot of points. So it'll be very interesting to see, because major key, and also can Haynesville keep scoring, right? I think when you play against an offense like General Trask's offense, you have to keep scoring.
Yeah,
and then also make a few stops along the way. Because if you get stopped on offense, that just plays the General Trask's hands even more because they want to be in a shootout, especially with a team like Haynesville. But Haynesville, yeah, you can say, well, they won comfortably 30-15, but 30-15 is not a comfortable win
mm-hmm.
by any stretch of the means. It's not. I mean, I know, like I get what Alex is trying to say, but that's not a comfortable win, especially given how Haynesville has won some of their games throughout the year. And Walsh is a good program. I said that going into that game is that Walsh is a good team. They're going to make it interesting. But will Haynesville look like the Haynesville we used to see throughout the year, or will Haynesville look like the one against Walsh? Because if they look like the one against Walsh, they're in some deep trouble.
Well, Haynesville is, in terms of state championships, we all know about John Curtis, but Haynesville's right behind him. This is a team, a program that's known how to win state championships, win state championships, and they have that style, right? I mean, Monty Williams is a good quarterback for General Trask. He's worked out with us before for ground football. He's a really good quarterback. They got a lot of good athletes at General Trask. But here, what Haynesville is going to do, they have that wing T offense, and that's why they've won a lot of state championships. They play keep away, and I think that's what Haynesville is going to do. They're going to control the clock, keep their offense off the field, and I think Haynesville's going, with it being at home, it's tough to go over there in Haynesville and win over there. So Haynesville, the folks over there, they expect to play the state championships. They know what that's basically the culture over there is to do that. And with this team being so young last year and kind of really going under the radar, and last year, this year, they're expected to be there. It's been a great run for General Trask. I mean, being the number 4, number 5 seeds as well. Coach Wells has said a couple times he's been to the semifinals, but I'm going to go with Painesville with the wing T attack, and just it makes it so tough for our opponents. So I think they have a really good game plan going in when they play General Trask. So let's go to the bomb side of the bracket. I think we'll be pretty conflicted with this because these 2 teams have been playing some great football. Logan Sport, a team of Coach Kevin McGee, another team, like a Haynesville, like an Oak Grove in years past, like a Homer. They've been in contention like every year, for a state championship, and they are again. Coach Kevin McGee got over 100 wins this year. He's a great football coach. It's a great program, and South Plaquemines, on the other hand, I know their fans and say, "Hey, y'all not giving any love, showing any love or any support to South Plaquemines." Well, I said, "This is your chance to prove it." I had Mangum going to the Superdome as well. They've been a really good football team this year, and South Plaquemines put a statement and beat down Mangum 42-18. So that was a statement by South Plaquemines. But Logan Sport's been a more of a veteran team in terms of making state championships, playing more of a program. South Plaquemines is coming on with Coach Fit leading the way. But this is a very intriguing matchup. Grant, I'm going to start off with you here. I think this can go either way. I'm actually torn. I'm going back and forth with this one. But who do you think has the advantage between South Plaquemines and Logan Sport?
I think South Plaque.
Mm-hmm.
They're the home team. Logan was a very good team, right? But remember, I had Homer going to the state championship, so
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have as much loyalty to Logan Sports as some other teams. But South Plaque has shown really week in and week after the playoffs, and really you can start probably just maybe week 10 of the regular season when they nearly upset Newman,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't. I think that gave them a whole lot of confidence going into the playoffs, and that's shown. I mean, look at the games they have won. The last go down, Jace, and their games. I mean, they beat East Feliciana 21-6, and that was that's an East Feliciana team that's kind of sneaky, right? Like Homer was sneaky, so was East Feliciana because of their athletes, and they beat them 21-6. The next week, they defeat Mangum 42-18, which is a fairly impressive victory, one of the more impressive victories throughout the quarterfinals. And now they welcome in a Logansport team who has to make a hell of a drive. Like, remember, Logansport's kind of near Shreveport, so they got to make a 4.5. And also, South Plaquemines at the very edge of the south.
Home field means a lot for this.
Yeah, it's I think damn near the ocean, right?
Yeah.
You're going to talk about going past New Orleans, past Chalmette, past Belle Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, to get there, it's
Yeah.
it's literally on the peninsula.
Really.
It's on the Gulf. That's a hell of a drive. So how will Logansport play coming off the bus of a long drive? And Logansport's had a lot of success, right, in the past in recent years. So they have a very good team, but South Plaque has a lot of athleticism. I think they actually have one of the better quarterbacks in the state. Lyle Fitt was actually on the last time South Plaque won the state championship was 2008. They went back to back in 2007, 2008. Lyle Fitt played for those two teams.
Yep, absolutely.
South Plaquemine that's some really good athletes. They're at home, and also you got to factor in the fact that Logansport's got to make a hell of a drive. I think all of those will play a key factor in what South Plaquemine will advance to the state championship.
All right, so it'd be the first time. Like you mentioned, 2007, 2008. I think Coach Crutchfield was the head coach. I think then.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a South Plaquemine team that's definitely been hot.
Rod Parker. Rod Parker's the quarterback's name.
He's a good one. Sure. I got to see him against Amy in the spring. He's they got some athletes, man. South Plaquemine is very impressive. But talking to Daryl here. Who do you have coming out of this one, Logan Sport or South Plaquemines?
This is a tough game for me. I kind of feel like it's a toss up either way. I was gonna roll with Logan Sport, but I don't know. South Plaquemines is feel like it's staring back at me, and I mean we've counted them out multiple times. Alex picked them last week. They put it on Mangum, as you said, Jace. I mean, 42-18. That's a really nice victory, and they earned the number 2 seat for a reason. I mean, they're at home. They earned that home field advantage, as Grant said. Logansport has to make that super long drive, and yeah, I think South Plaquemines, they feel like they have a little something to prove now. So I mean, I'm gonna roll with them to go to the state championship, but I could also see Logansport making it a very, very close game and even pulling it out in the end. But I think this is going to be a really good game. I don't see it being a blowout either way. But I'm going to roll with South Plaquemines to get the win.
Alex, you did pick South Plaquemines to beat Mangum last week. But Sport, they've been pretty stingy as well.
So I am taking South Plaque again. was I thought I might have been alone on this going into it, but now I'm a little bit worried that we're all going to take them. Um, but it's a 6-hour car trip from Logansport to South Plaque. It is hard to make a road trip staying within the confines of the state of Louisiana that is longer than this road trip. There are very few schools that would make it farther than Logansport going to South Plaque.
Yeah.
That matters a lot, especially since if you think about it, both of these teams have been benefiting from home field advantage a lot in this bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Logansport, because a lot of these trips, Varno famously had the bus breakdown, and then the game was super late, and then that was also not going to be a competitive game anyway. But Elton was a long trip, Franklin was a decently long trip, and South Platte has been benefiting from that. So home field matters so much for two teams that have been comfortable benefiting from home field this season. It's a 6-hour long road trip.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah, it's a side. Just look at, and it's gonna be more than that plus stops too. So it's gonna be closer to 7.
And on a
You're
bus,
doing it on a bus.
not in a car. Yeah,
You're not in the car. Yeah. Plus, you're doing it on a bus with stops and traffic and all of this. They might have to leave at like 9 in the morning.
Before that,
Yeah,
even
I left at 9 o'clock in the morning for Calvary. So like that's about a 5-hour trip. So.
And it matters so much in this game. These are two really good teams. South Black kind of proved themselves, and they proved the ability to, against a team that not a lot of people were expecting them to beat, to not just beat, but to pour it on Mangum like they did. That matters a lot. This team has proven themselves, and I find it interesting. If this game is a blowout, I don't agree with Jace. I think there is a very real possibility that either of these teams blows the other one out. If this game is a blowout, I think it could easily be close. I think it's a toss-up, but I think it could be a blowout either way because both of these teams have proven the ability to separate from good competition. If this game is a blowout, and if General Trask puts some points on Haynesville, we might get that world where the team that comes out of the bottom bracket actually gives Haynesville a real game in the Dome, which could be really exciting. But we'll talk about that more next week, depending on how this game goes. See if one of these teams can kind of enter ascension mode as they seem to be doing. I am going to take South Black. I'm going to take them close. I think it'll be a really good game, but keep your eyes on this because the finals, the championship game might get a lot more interesting than what we were expecting going into it.
Oh yeah. And for a chance, I mean, as much parity as it's been, we could have a number 1 versus number 2 seed for this bracket,
Right.
Coming here. So yeah, this is one of these games I went back and forth because I really respect Logansport's program. In fact, I went back and forth before the bracket was being released about between Mangum and Logansport that I think would go to the Dome. But looking at it now and seeing the South Plaquemine team play and the way that they beat a good Mangum team, I mean, that's not a slouch team that they played in Mangum. Especially they lost a really close one to Oak Grove earlier this year. But I said last week, this is your chance to really show how good you are, and they did. And they earned my respect. So I got to go with South Plaquemines here. So I think we're all in agreement here. But
I will say, I think if Logansport goes on the road and besides everything that we just said, and they get the win, I think that they're going to give Haynesville a good run
it's
for
going to
their
be a
money.
much closer state championship game than a lot of people would think going in. But yeah, South Plaquemines, I think the trip, I mean, it's overrated in some ways, but here it means a lot because, I mean, 6 hours, that's saying a lot. And another thing is, this isn't like a 5A team that has to make the trip, and you got a lot of numbers, a lot of people that, like, this is 1A. Like, this is who you got. So if they're not really up to play at that level, it's going to be tough. I mean, because that's the guys you came down with in one bus basically. It's not like 2 or 3 buses anyway. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I have a lot of respect for Logan Sport, but I'm on roll with South Plaquemines with the way they've been playing football as of late and the confidence that they've had, and they definitely deserve their flowers after an impressive win over Mangum. So Logan Sport, South Plaquemines, and we have Haynesville General Trask. We'll see if it's a chalk matchup in the Superdome, but Appreciate Grant, Alex, and Daryl for hopping on, and make sure to follow all of our Ball in the Boot segments, playoff bracket breakdowns here at GridironFootballUSA.com.